Did you have any tattoos before you started collecting the bodysuit?
No, I had no tattoos. There were at least 2 trips every year starting 2013. I can say I spent, to this date, over 100,000 just on the tattoo wall.
All right, so today we're here with John Mendoza, and this is gonna be a little bit of an interesting tattoo tour. This is the first time we've ever done it with somebody who's only had work from one artist. So I'm super excited to get into this today, and first kind of want to start off with, how did you get into tattoos?
Growing up here in Sacramento, California, South Sacramento, had a lot of relatives that had tattoos. They're mostly gangster tattoos and stuff like that. So just growing up in the 80s and or 70s, 80s was a time when I saw a lot of garage tattoos or jail tattoos, but they're kind of intriguing, and I've always wanted them, but because the cousins had them and stuff like that and friends, but I had a pretty strict family, mother and father. I was the only child. And they kept me away from that tattoo element for a long time. What got me interested in tattoos again was in high school. I think it was my senior year in 1990. There was a movie called Black Rain. It's about cops in the USA and the Japanese Yakuza. When they raided one of the bathhouses or the clubhouses, I was intrigued by their tattoos. It was all uniform. It was artful, and I really liked it a lot. After seeing that, all my friends, my Japanese or Asian friends, especially going to Japanese houses, I'd see all the beautiful Japanese, art and stuff like that. So that's when I really, really wanted to get a bodysuit one day, if I ever had money. So, yeah.
So did you have any tattoos before you started collecting the bodysuit?
No, I had no tattoos, so I was pretty sheltered from tattooing. I said I could never get a job, and and I'd be frowned away from a lot of advancement or anything like that. But when I first started getting hired, I was a public servant. I was a firefighter here in Elk Grove, California. One day, there was a coworker of mine that came from LA that moved up here. He actually started working, he only had a half sleeve. And then throughout the years, it started going down. And it went down to his wrist. And he got called into the office one day. And they looked over. And they saw there was nothing offensive and bad at that nature that looked bad, for the department to the public. So they made a SOP on, tattoos, saying that they refrain from it, but if you do get any tattoos, there's a certain guideline. And when that happened, that was my meal ticket to go ahead and get tattooed. So
When it was time for you, as you said, or you knew you were going to pull that trigger on a tattoo bodysuit, what was that journey? How did you kind of discover the artist that you ended up going with and pulling that trigger?
once we got that SOP, that guidelines, I said, all right, I'm gonna see what I really want. So what I really wanted was a sleeve with a chest piece, just one side. I just started looking online, and I just started looking at art. And the one that intrigued me a lot was an artist from Japan named Shige from Yellow Lace Tattoo in Yokohama, Japan. When I called, he couldn't speak much English, and he just said, I can't take you as a client. It's very difficult. It's hard to explain. And I just said, after 15 minutes of talking to him, I said, are you going to be in the tattoo convention in San Francisco? And he said, yes. And I just said, if you can remember Shoboshi John, it means firefighter in Japanese, firefighter John. And then, I'll meet you So when I went over to the Bay Area Tattoo Convention, I was the second person in line to meet Shige. His first client didn't show up, so I was able to talk to him, told him why I wanted a tattoo. He asked me if I had any tattoos. I said no. He said it hurts, it's a commitment, and I told him what I wanted. And after an hour and 15 minutes of begging, I finally said yes. And when I saw two clients there that already had tattoos, they said if he asked you to go to Japan to start the tattoo process, just say yes. So I went there with $500. I thought I could get tattooed for $500, but that was just my down payment, just as a consultation fee and down payment for my first session. And I said yes to going to Japan to start my sleeves.
That's awesome. So after you guys kind of came to that, initial starting point, can you kind of walk me through maybe where you guys started, some of the imagery, and kind of how it's progressed over the years of you collecting this bodysuit?
My first sleeve was this one. It was 2 trips to Japan. It was 8 sessions on this side and 8 sessions on this side. So each trip was 4 sessions. So the first sleeve with chest plate would be this side. It has 3 koi fishes. One that's a koi fish turning to a dragon over here, and the other side would be the dragons. So the story about this would be there are koi that swim at the Yellow River in China. When the koi fish fly upstream and they're able to hit Dragon's Gate and successful, they turn to a dragon. So the 3 koi fish here represent my son, my wife, and myself. So me being on the top with my wife and son behind me, always behind me. The dragon, they reach Dragon's Gate, so this would be me and this is my wife. The waves would represent protection for my job as a firefighter. And we have the cherry blossoms on both sides to represent good luck, but cherry blossoms only bloom for about 2 weeks and then they die. So it's my short-term life on earth is what it means on the cherry blossoms. After that, I have my back piece, and the back piece is of Meticulous foxes. And he is a patron Buddha for firefighters. So he goes to the gates of hell, and he sees all the people suffering, and they're in the hell, in the fire. So he doesn't want to become, he's not a Buddha yet, so he wants to become Buddha, but he says he will not become Buddha until all the souls in hell are saved. So he goes ahead and goes into hell, into the fire, and he grabs, all the souls in hell, and to bring them up. And Shige is completing my leg piece right here, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but he has the hands in hell and fire coming up. And then I have the front piece, which is a golden phoenix. So the golden phoenix, because I wasn't able to finish this piece, I was able to finish it a year and a half ago. The golden phoenix represents a rebirth. Phoenix dies in the ashes, or in the fire, in the ashes emerges the phoenix, and it just means a new life. And I retired as a firefighter, and it's my new life now.
If you had to guess how many trips and how many hours you've put into traveling to Japan, and then also the tattoo hours of getting this, I know that's rough because it's been over a decade.
Hours is going to be tough. I can say there were at least 2 trips every year from starting 2013 and up to this date right now. But 3 years ago, There was no traveling in Japan. Maybe a little over 14 trips. Each trip was 4 sessions, and the sessions ranged from 8 to 10 hours a day. And I'd go for 11 days, and when I arrive, I have 1 day off. I get 2 back-to-back, 8 to 10 hours sessions, 5 days off, and 2 back-to-back, and then I fly home the next day. I can say I spent, to this date, over 100,000 just on the tattoo alone. That doesn't include hotel, the plane fare, the food, but it's worth it. It's not the pricing structure wasn't too bad. I mean, it's expensive, but looking at what, a lot of artists charge now, Shige is pretty reasonable these days, so, yeah.
Now, you've obviously invested a lot of time and money into this process over, this, 10, 12, 13-year period. For those that maybe don't understand why somebody would invest that much time and money into a tattoo bodysuit, from your perspective, why was that worth it to you?
Oh, it's worth it because every morning when I wake up, I just see the artwork that's put on my body. And it's just a reminder of the life that I had, a good life that I had, with family, my job, and the life that I have now. So it's just way worth it. It's just memories. It's just like photographs. If you go into a fire, and what do firefighters do? They go ahead and try to look for photographs and pictures, because if those are burnt and gone, we won't have them anymore, original. I mean, we have everything in the cloud now, but like original stuff, yeah. Purchase cars, clothes, stuff like that. You can always have it, but they can always, be gone. You can always sell your cars. This is forever, unless you want to pay to get it lasered off, which I don't think anyone should do it, so, yeah.
As far as, if you could go back in time and give yourself advice before you started collecting this bodysuit, knowing what you know now, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, I'd start earlier. I started this journey at, age 43, so I'm 50, I'll be 52 next month, so I think the pain threshold diminishes every year, and I think if I would start it earlier, I think I could take the pain more, but yeah, 8 to 10 hours, getting in my age is, and back-to-back sessions, it's pretty tough, yeah.
I guess if you would have any, I don't know if you want to call it advice or words of encouragement, or somebody that may be on the fence of whether it's getting their first small tattoo or going all in on a bodysuit like you did, what would be your advice to them?
My advice is just wait. Don't go with your instinct and just, walk in and get a tattoo. It takes a long time to think what you want. It's permanent. Find the right medium, artwork. Find the right artist that you want your artwork to be done, and just go from there. It's going to be on your body forever, so you got to be happy with it. The people that are doing the artwork are artists, and it's their line of work, and they take pride in all their work too. So find the right person that'll treat you right, that'll give you the right tattoo, and something that you can look at and say, this is an awesome tattoo.